Today, I'm going to be talking about the Battle of Little Bighorn in Montana and Wind Cave National Park in South Dakota. Have you ever wondered what historical stories or events took place on the land you are standing on or sites you have seen? As someone who is intrigued and fascinated with history, I am most interested in my own history, culture's history, and that is the Native American Lakota history. Today I'm going to be talking about two of the most beautiful and memorable places I have personally visited. First, let's start in South Dakota. Wind Cave National Park is a protected area in the Black Hills of South Dakota near the town of Hot Springs in the southern part of the state. Wind Cave is one of the oldest national parks in South Dakota, establishing in 1903. Wind Cave is most famous for its underground cave system, but above ground, the park covers grassland and forested hills that are home to bison, elk, prairie dogs, and other wildlife. But for the Lakota people, Wind Cave is much more than a natural wonder. It is a sacred place. According to the Lakota emergence story, my ancestors came from the earth through a small opening in Wind Cave, entering the world to live above. The story starts like this. Long ago, before people lived on the Earth's surface, the Lakota people lived underground. One day, a spirit named Iktomi, in English it is translated to the trickster, had come to the people and said that there was a world above ground, a place with open skies, flowing rivers, and roaming animals. There was one person who was most curious, and his name was Tokahe, meaning the first one. Although most were unsure, Tokahe decided to follow Iktomi and see the new world for himself. He then led a small group of people to the opening in the ground, which today is known as Wind Cave National Park. As they climbed out, they were amazed by everything they saw: the bright sun, the tall grass, and many animals. Once they realized living above ground was difficult and that the weather was harsh and people were cold and hungry, they realized Iktomi had tricked them, and living on the surface was not as easy as he promised. The people tried to return home, but they had grown too much, and so they couldn't return. After trying long and hard, Tokahe and his people had no choice but to learn how to live on the surface. So with that story, yes, Wind Cave is known for having a beautiful cave system, but it also reminds us that every place has a story, even if we can't see it right away. Wind Cave shows where the Lakota people came from, but the Battle of Little Bighorn shows that what they stood for. Both places are connected by courage, history, and meaning that go far beyond the land itself. So what is the Battle of Little Bighorn? On June 26, 1876, in south central Montana, Lieutenant George Custer and his U.S. Army attacked a large camp of Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho natives who refused to be forced onto reservations. The native tribes were led by two of the most respected native warriors, Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse. The natives fought back fiercely, surrounding and defeating Custer's soldiers. This event is also known as Custer's Last Stand. Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse were not just fighting for land, but they were fighting for freedom and the way of life. This battle is important in the Native American history because it was one of the greatest victories in their history. This leaves a lasting symbol of strength, unity, and resistance. Today, the monument represents healing, remembrance, and respect. It is a place where visitors can reflect on both the and bravery that took place there for both the natives and the 7th Cavalry who lost their lives. So as you go out into the world, remember to look beyond what's on the surface. Because when you search for a deeper meaning in the world around you, you might just discover something truly sacred. Thank you.